Imagine paying thousands of dollars just to access basic public information about your own community. That's exactly what Northumberland County is doing with its insane access to information filing fees, acting as a paywall to information that should be transparently available to the public. See, I had filed an access to information request requesting copies of all complaints from community members/organizations received regarding Transition House and 310 Division Street since December 2023. And the county has told me that there are roughly 1,500 pages of records that will cost an astonishing $1,807.50 to retrieve. If you want to support my investigation and help cover the costs of these absurd fees, please do so at rebelinvestigates.com. That's our special government accountability website, so you will find lots of great journalism and exclusive government documents there. Now, by way of background, 310 Division Street is the recently renovated low barrier shelter in Cobourg, which is approximately 100 kilometers east of Toronto. This shelter, run by the registered charity Transition House, has been at the center of controversy over the last few years, from rushed approvals of the $2.3 million expansion deal to conflicts of interest between Transition House and the upper-tier municipality called Northumberland County, which is responsible for social service delivery in the area. The lack of oversight, data collection, tangible outcomes, and accountability have left serious questions about the county and Transition House's ability to effectively deliver safe shelter operations that actually transition people out of perpetual despair and into more stable lifestyles. Despite a record and historic provincial funding boost to the county in 2023, homelessness has only proliferated in the area, including the once infamous and now disbanded Cobourg encampment at the former Brookside Youth Detention Centre, provincial lands that have now been sold privately. Yet when I tried to file an access to information request to shed light on some of these issues, Northumberland County slapped me with these exorbitant fees. And it's not the first time that they've done that. They also hit Jordan Stevenson of IHARC, that's the Integrated Homelessness and Addictions Response Center, with a $1,000 charge in recent months. But mine is just for basic data on complaints that the county is receiving about the shelter. And my ask is in light of comments made by the county's CAO, Jennifer Moore, who feigned ignorance last month. I guess her $220,000 per year salary doesn't require her to be diligently in the know about community safety concerns in Cobourg. You said that no community members had expressed any concern to you as of yet with the opening of 310 Division. Do you want to clarify those remarks?
I said that they hadn't been directly to me, but we have a process that comes through, and that's what I said in our committee meeting.
Now, why are private citizens and media organizations being charged such absurd fees to get public interest information? Well, I've complained to the Office of the Information Commissioner about it, but knowing that there are 1,500 pages worth of complaints for 1 month has me even more intrigued to know what nuance is being lost in what has been publicly reported since. Because after I filed that request, Glenn Dees, who's the Director of Health and Human Services, revealed at the January 8th Social Services Committee meeting, and after he received a nearly 16% raise, bringing his salary to just under $180,000 a year, that the county is finally collecting data on Transition House and its operations. Dees said at that point that they've only had 2 discussions with the town of Cobourg about data sharing, so better late than never, I guess. Dees himself says that this data is preliminary and only covers the first month, again, of operations at 310 Division, which is currently operating 2/3 of its building as a warming room in the basement and a 35-bed emergency shelter space on the 2nd and 3rd floors. The 4th floor is yet to open. Now, in the first month of operation, there were 47 concerns reported to the ECE. I'll come back to that in a minute, 46 of which were within a 500-meter radius of 310 Division. Most were related to waste, followed by behavior, then loitering, substance use, unwanted persons, security, and abandoned property. Now, since this data excludes information from the town of Cobourg, which is responsible for enforcing that ECE zoning bylaw related to emergency shelter institutions, it's called the Emergency Care Establishment Bylaw, I reached out to the town of Cobourg to see if I could get a similar breakdown of these reports. Mayor Lucas Cleveland didn't respond at all. His communications manager, Karen Ewell, told me that I could file an access to information request to find out. You can't make this up. So another access to information request that will take at least 30 days to get back. And who knows how much in additional filing fees. So basically, wait 30 days and be hit with additional fees, all for trying to get information and compare notes for a report that I want to feature here in the now. This outrageous gatekeeping and paywalling of information is a blatant slap in the face to the taxpayers. We foot the bill for these people's salaries, for third-party consultations to gather and compile the data, for all the presentations, for the buildings themselves, for the renovations, for the outreach. We pay, we pay, we pay. And now we have to pay again just to access information that we already fund. This is nothing but a blatant money grab by all parties involved. If you add up the salaries of Northumberland County's top officials, from CAO Jennifer Moore, who I already mentioned, makes $220,000 a year. Glenn Deese, who makes just under $180,000 a year. Rebecca Carmen, who's the Associate Director for Housing and Homelessness, earning nearly $120,000 per year. Lisa Ainsworth, the Director of Corporate Services, making just over $170,000 a year, and Director of Communications Kathleen Campbell, who pockets nearly $160,000 a year. You're looking at over $750,000 to bureaucrats who are not elected and have zero accountability. They continue to hold power without ever having to answer to the people they're supposed to serve. It's a system that's costing taxpayers dearly without delivering any real transparency or even, in some instances, services. So are we really getting bang for our buck? Maybe one of them can step up and pay the nearly $2,000 access to information filing fee. After all, they seem to be good at collecting paychecks, but not so great at delivering answers or services. For Rebel News, I'm Tamara Ugolini. You can help support this work by heading over to rebelinvestigates.com and chipping in whatever you're able to there. At that website, you can also check out all of our previous reports and stay up to date if you wish. That's rebelinvestigates.com. Thanks in advance for your support.